started with a lie. Los Angeles, 1997. Notorious B.I.G. rapper, father, king of East Coast hip-hop, lay bleeding in his SUV outside a Mid-Wilshire museum. A 10mm bullet lodged in his lung. The killer? A shadow in a black Chevy Impala. The accomplice? An LAPD patrol car idling 2 blocks away, its officers radioing updates to a unit sworn to protect the city, the Rampart Division's crash squad. But this wasn't their first murder. 3 years earlier, crash officer Rafael Pérez kicked down the door of Javier Ovando, a Honduran teen mistaken for a gangster. Ovando raised his hands. Pérez fired twice, then planted a rifle by his limp body. Self-defense, the report declared. Ovando survived, paralyzed and imprisoned. Another gang threat erased by LA's so-called heroes. By 1997, crash wasn't policing crime. They were the crime. Biggie's death tore open LA's seams. Fans blamed rival rappers. Cops shrugged. Just another dead gangster. But Detective Russell Poole, a cop so straight-laced he ironed his socks, saw a pattern. A week after the murder, crash officer David Mack, a death row records associate, deposited $13,000 cash. Mack owned a black Impala. His partner, Pérez, the same cop who'd framed Ovando. Poole dug deeper. FBI wiretaps revealed Crash's side hustle, renting their badges to death row CEO Suge Knight. For a cut of his drug profits, they intimidated rivals, erased evidence, and silenced snitches. Biggie's sin? An unreleased track called LAPD that named names. But when Poole handed his findings to Internal Affairs, they vanished. Files were shredded. Witnesses recanted. "Let it go," his captain warned, "or you'll end up like Biggie." Poole became a ghost in his own department. Demoted to an evidence room, he pieced together a mosaic of betrayal. The ballistics, the 10mm gun used on Biggie matched LAPD issue. The car, Mack's Impala, was rented under a fake ID, provided by Crash. The money, $1.3 million, flowed from death row to offshore accounts linked to Pérez. But the deeper Poole went, the fewer allies he had. Even Hollywood turned against him. In 2001, Training Day hit theaters. Denzel Washington's corrupt cop Alonzo Harris became an icon. His swagger borrowed from Pérez's playbook. "We interviewed crash victims," the director admitted. Denzel's menace? That was real. Meanwhile, Poole's real-life investigation crumbled. Greed, power, fear. Crash's corruption wasn't rogue cops. It was systemic. The unit's motto, "We intimidate those who intimidate others." But by the 90s, that meant terrorizing Black and Latino neighborhoods to boost arrest stats. And their egos. Pérez, a former altar boy turned kingpin, justified it. "You play the game or get played." His game? Stealing cocaine from evidence lockers, selling it through gangs, and splitting profits with commanders. As for Biggie, he was collateral damage. His lyrics threatened their empire. Truth has a way of rotting through lies. In 2011, declassified FBI files confirmed Poole's worst fears. Memo hashtag 97-45210. Crash commanders listed Biggie as a priority target. File hashtag 96-98821. A wiretap caught Suge Knight ordering a hit, paid for with LAPD stamped cash. But justice stayed out of reach. Pérez walked free after testifying against his crew. Mack served time for an unrelated bank robbery. Poole? He died in 2015 mid-interview about the case. A heart attack, they said. His notes, detailing 11 unsolved crash murders, were dismissed as ramblings. Today, the scars linger. Outside the Peterson Museum, a mural of Biggie warns, "They killed the king. Who's next?" Rampart Station sits abandoned, its crash unit plaque tagged with graffiti, "Here lies the truth." And in a Phoenix suburb, Poole's son pins on his police badge, upside down. "A reminder," he says, "the job's not about power. It's about who you protect." As for the Impala, the gun, the $13,000, gone. Like the cops who made them disappear. In LA, the past isn't prologue. It's a loaded gun waiting to fire.